Hello, governors. I hope you all are having a great New Year's Eve. Should be an exciting time for you. We're going to start a new year, and we're going to do it correctly. Pops, I'll see you a little bit later. We got some Dom Perignon to enjoy this evening. A little bit of champagne. But just want to wish you guys all a happy New Year's. And what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to really reflect back on the last year. What I learned, what I didn't, things I want to change, that kind of stuff. It's not going to be one of those sappy New Year's resolutions things. So you guys don't have to worry about that. Hit a lot of hearts. You'll see a lot of 2016s pop up. But I'll give you guys kind of my goals and things, kind of run down through it, so I have a visual a recorded representation of what it is, and you guys can actually compare yourself. I'd never say compare it to me, but compare your goals and the way they're structured to mine. Yours may be better, mine may be better. You can adjust accordingly. Okay? Sorry, my heated seats are extremely warm, just so you know. Okay, so number one thing I learned in 2015 is never put all of your eggs in one basket. Never, ever, ever. This has been found in my suspension and the closing of my Amazon Associates account, and just kind of that whole entire mess that ensued around that time frame. So, I have said this many of times, and I'm going to be practicing it myself as we go into 2016, that multiple streams of income are where it's at. The more streams of income you can have, even if they're small streams, more like creeks, or cricks if you're from Kentucky maybe, the better off you're going to be. It's better to have $100 coming from here, $100 coming from here, and kind of have that build up, than to have all of your eggs in the one basket of Amazon. So I highly recommend exploring other avenues. It may be merch, it may be ebooks, it may be Gumroads, it may be a course, it may be videos, it could be a blog, it could be a side job, it could be a service, it could be a software, it could be any of those things and so much more. But you need to start working on, and I'm going to start working on, building those multiple income streams. So, you may be wondering, how in the heck are you going to do that, Chris? Well, just as a preview for the next year, I already have 6 courses planned. That's the goal for next year, one every 2 months, to push those out for educational purposes. You guys know with my courses, I always give them out pretty cheap to all my fans anyway. I actually rely on Udemy to actually do a lot of the promoing for the high-paid courses, and I give a lot of them out for free to build up the, essentially, I forget the word for it, like the public recognition. Like, crap, what's that? Social proof. Social proof's the word I'm looking for. So, I try to build up that with you guys so you guys can learn, and then I try to let it sell itself from that point. So that is what I've got planned. I've got 6 of those planned for next year. I will have 20 new shirts into merch by Amazon by, well, hello, my fine construction worker. I'll have that in by probably 2 weeks from now. I'm gonna let those build. I'm gonna try to grow that. I have people on Fiverr that I'm having design my shirts, and I'm really trying to push that envelope on that side of it. So that's just completely passive. Once I do it, I leave it. I can adjust prices, but I'm going to leave those go. I wrote an ebook 2 days ago. That's going to be up on Gumroad and probably on our website. I'm working on the book that I owe everybody from Kickstarter. I've got it actually all laid out. I'm starting to write it. I've been writing it for a while, but I've been adjusting everything as I've gone along, and I'm finally content and happy with the way I have it laid out now. So be excited for that. That'll be coming out. If that all goes well, then another book will be in the works, and hopefully it'll be released by the end of the year. I have 2 conferences I'll be speaking at this year thus far, and the way it's looking is we may have more of kind of like, I may be in 4 the way it's looking right now, I'm going to be in the Midwest Ecom, which is going to be in Minnesota, So if you guys haven't seen that, you can still, I think today is your last day, you can get $50 off the registration. I have no affiliate ties to it at all, so if you want it, great. If not, that's fine. Aaron, if you're on here, the shirts, I am not sure. You need to talk to John on that. I don't have access to that account. So there's that one, and then I'll be going out to Denver for the one that Travis Ross is putting on and crew, and that one will be, I think I'm more of kind of a, not a headliner, but a more prominent piece there, so it should be a lot more of me and having fun. If everything goes as planned, we should have one conference. We should have, yeah, never mind. If you guys want a conference from us, we may be putting one on. We'll just put it that way. That's all I'm going to say. So that is in works, and that's really in the hands of like John and Mike, because they put a lot of that together. I'm more of just the pretty face that smiles. Then as we go, so that's kind of the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is time is money. So we'll get to it, all y'all. But time is money. So what I've really done, you can ask Dustin Buchanan, I'm really moving towards a completely hands-off approach to Amazon. And that is my goal by the end of 2016, is to be completely hands-off besides purchasing decisions. Now, that won't be me searching for goods. It'll be deciding if it is a good purchase or not until I choose someone to do that. So that's how it's going to slide a little bit for me, just so you guys know. I will still be selling on Amazon. I just won't be personally packing everything up. And I know a lot of you want to know more about automating. I'm kind of getting into that, and as I go along, I'm going to be writing it out. I'm going to be sharing it with you guys, doing some videos, and going from there. I also want to get in a little bit more into the teaching side of things. You guys have seen this with the Make Green in 2016 group, the Replan group. Odds are we're going to have if I get around to it tonight, we'll publish it. We're going to do a second round of the FBA Make Green in 2016 group. We have about 100 people that didn't get into the first one that really want in. So we're going to get into it. So I think I'm going to be releasing that sometime soon. We'll also be releasing another Replan group. And as my video skills kind of continue to progress in the right direction, we may be thinking of some new groups, such as like a Zen Arbitrage group or a clothing, shoes, and luggage group. Kind of like a few of the other ones out there, but there may also be kind of a membership group. I'm trying to diversify the income as much as I can. So that's where it's at, because right now, and I'll tell you my big goals for the year, I have two really big goals. So the first one is my baby I'm sitting here in right now, the Elantra, my car. I owe like $7,000 on it. I want to pay it off by the end of the year. I want to own this baby. So if I want to trade the puppy in, I can. And I can get my full value of it off the next car, but that is the goal, to own this car. The next goal for my side Amazon stuff, I hope he is. We'll try to talk him into it. Right now, there's no plans for him to. Maybe you can talk him into it. The other plan is I've actually been contributing to it as much as I can. My wife and I are considering having kids in the next year or two. So I've opened up a college savings account for my future kids, and I want to max that out next year. I'm already about 10% of the way as of today for next year because my money went in then, and probably by the first week in January, I'll be 20% of the way there for what I want to put in for the year. So my goal is to load that down, let time take control, compounding interest, growth in the market. I want to put it in there. I want to let it grow and keep that building. So those are my two major goals for the year. My third that I was kind of wavering on is really to put a lot of effort into paying down as much as I can on my house. We've paid down over $7,000 this year in my house, which is an $80,000 loan, so that's almost 10% of the house we've paid off in 1 year. I really would like to drive that down by about $15,000 next year. Really push that mortgage down so that, in 6, 7, maybe 10 years, I have the thing completely paid off. I no longer have that overarching payment I continually have to make. So those are my goals, so you guys know that's exactly what it is. There's 2 ways to become rich in the world. Number 1, make a lot of money. Number 2, have very little expenses. That is the way I look at things, and I am a true believer that the lower you can drive your expenses, the better off you are. I don't need to have a fancy house. I just don't want to make a house payment. I'd rather my biggest expense of the year be Netflix or something like that I can enjoy and have fun with, but not really worry about having to pay constantly for it. Oh, and beer. Definitely beer. You guys think I'm not going to drink beer? You are crazy. Okay? So, those are the goals. I want you guys to set goals. I've been trying to tell you guys to set them. I have financial specific goals. I have timelines for those goals, and they're really pretty achievable. I don't think paying off this car is going to be that hard. If everything plays out as planned, we're looking at maybe May, June to pay this thing off. If I do that, it's be working on next month's or the next car. And the goal is to have this car paid off so I can trade up for my wife so she can have a newer car. And I can take over her car and then I will pay that one off. So it's all kind of a compounding way I look at things. I'm very segmented when it comes to the way I proportion money and think about things. If I make $100, I have that assigned to something before I ever do it. Okay? So that's the kind of stuff that goes through my head. Now, I will tell you guys right now, the one thing I do want to advise, today is the 31st. If you want to make any charitable donations, any expenses for your business, anything, today is the day to do it to get it taken off of this year's taxes. So today I purchased inventory labs for a year. I went through and I took care of a donation I was going to make to the university, considering they're taking care of my tuition, so I'm paying them essentially half of what I would get tuition-wise. Donations I can actually write off on my taxes. I also made sure anything that was outstanding got paid off today. So today should be a day you focus on making sure that you collect all of the deductions you can today. So if you've made a crap ton of money and have it sitting in a bank account, today may be a very good time to call up your financial advisor and go, hey, I know it's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. What can you do for me before 5? How can we make this work so that we can lower my tax burden? You also need to run the end of the year reports this evening. I'm going to do mine probably 4 o'clock. I don't expect a lot to sell between now and then. If so, it's going to be very minimal, so I'm not going to really worry about it. But I'll be able to pick those up and adjust it as I see fit. But I'll run those end of the year inventory reports so that I can have all that information ready for my taxes. I know taxes are not a fun topic to talk about, but I've got to say that it's a beast. You got to get that stuff done. We're about to hit the perfect storm of January for sales tax. So I sure hope you have your money back, especially if you're filing sales taxes, because we are about to be hit hard. About every state that you could have a nexus in collects in the month of January. It's kind of a little insane, but it's how it happens. So make sure to be ready. We're going to have some advice from Tax Jar coming up. They've written a blog post and are going to join me in a hangout. But we're really trying to drive people to really think about Amazon as a business. Okay? I'm going to let you guys go. My head is pounding. I need like an iced tea or something. So I'm going to go make myself one at my house. And I think stopping talking may help my head just slightly. I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. Happy New Year's to you all. And I wish you the best of 2016. And I want to thank you for making 2015 awesome in the best way. So I wish you all the best. Have a great evening. And let's make some green in 2016.